Up next on the debut review, we're going to be looking at Have a Juicy Day. This is a double dry hopped India Pale Ale by Other Half, and it is coming in at 7% ABV. Let's go check it out. Hi, it's Rich and welcome to the debut review, and today we are looking at Other Half's Have a Juicy Day. This is a double dry hopped IPA, and it's coming in at 7% ABV, so you know, got some power to it. Now, this cost me $6.99 for the can, so not an inexpensive beer. What else does it say here? It says that the hops are Citra Incognito, Nelson Sauvin, Kohatu, Motueka and Centennial, a hazy IPA brewed with a hand-selected blend of hops, giving notes of all sorts of stuff that I'm just not sure of. So let's crack it open and let's see. Now, this is a regular IPA and this says dry hopped, which to me probably means this is not going to be my thing. Using my trusty big stir glass. And it is pouring very milky, as it says, juicy, hazy sort of IPA. Now, I'm happy to say that the bar is not filling with some sort of grapefruit smell, which is nice. Oh, no, fuck. There. Oh, excuse me. No, there it is. The grapefruit smell has hit. Yeah, there's like, it's very heavy citrus, very heavy grapefruit. What else? Maybe some lemon, definitely grapefruit, maybe a little bit of pininess there. Yeah. All right, so a lot of this nose is what I don't like in a beer, particularly an IPA. Now, it is coming in at 7%, so I'm going to try to be as unbiased as I possibly can as I go through this. So it's an interesting nose. It's just not a profile that I love. Let's see how it tastes. You know, it's different than I expected. I expected it to be all grapefruit and, you know, sort of overwhelming bitterness on the back end. There is a grapefruit note to it right about the middle of the tongue. But on the front end of it, as you drink it, it's actually more of a mandarin orange. And when you swallow it, you're getting almost like... what's that called when you that's it, it's like a lemon zest at the back when you scrape like a peel. So I mean, there's actually quite a bit of like complex fruit flavor here, and without that back end bitterness, I have to say, while the nose is not something that I'm really looking for, the taste on this is actually quite nice. And I was worried because there's just a hint of bitterness on the back end that this would be sort of like a cumulative sort of like bomb of bitterness. It's not. The bitterness has stayed constant. It's not overwhelming. It's not sort of like pushing all the other flavors out of my mouth. The carbonation on this is very nice. And as you swallow it, it really does help the flavors sort of open up in, I guess, you know, with your olfactory senses, because, wow, it really does bring the flavor out on this. Now, it is a 7% ABV beer, and I'm not feeling a burn, so I have to say, I think this is a really pretty solidly crafted beer here. Sorry, I have to dry off some of this. It says, a hazy IPA brewed with a hand-selected blends of hops, giving notes of soft stone fruit, lychee, papaya, gooseberry, and some grapefruit. I don't know what lychee is, I'm sorry to say. I guess I'm limited in that. I know what gooseberry is, and I'm not getting it. I'm getting much more of the citrus, and it's a sweeter citrus than I expected, which is always a nice surprise. So, you know, like, would I get this again? Especially since I'm not particularly into the IPAs. I have to say I would not turn my nose up at this. Would I get it at a bar? Yeah. You know, now $6.99 for the can. So, you know, you're talking $28 for a 4-pack. That might be more than I'm willing to spend, you know, on a can. It's good, but quite honestly, I think if I was going to spend $7 or $8 on a can of beer, I think I would go with more of a double or a triple IPA and probably a slightly higher ABV. This is good, and I wouldn't turn my nose up at it. In fact, I again, depending on the price point, I think it's well worth the purchase. Yeah, that's actually very, very nice. Now, this is Other Half Brewing Company, and it is actually, oh wow, I didn't even realize that. It is at 195 Center Street, Brooklyn, New York, so relatively close to me as well. So I'm going to look for this and see around me if I can find it at a lower price, and if I can, I would definitely pick it up again. Is it worth paying like $7 to try it? I think so. It's a pretty good IPA. It's not overwhelmingly grapefruit. It's not overwhelmingly, you know, bitter. It's got a nice, juicy, sort of citrusy flavor profile that I have to say I really did enjoy. And I have to tell you, when I really nosed this thing initially, I was sort of dreading it. And I have to say it was a good, enjoyable beer. Anyway, folks, I hope you've enjoyed the review. If you have, and if you've hung out this long, please hit that like button, subscribe, maybe throw a comment down below. And I'll see you all next time at End of the Day Beer Reviews. Cheers. Hi everybody, it's Rich, and welcome back to End of the Day Beer Review. If you're new here, welcome. Would really appreciate watching the whole video and maybe even hitting that subscribe button. We're gonna do that fucking thing again. 3, 2, 1. Hi everybody. 3, 2, 1.